So I came across this video of a lady on TikTok. I believe she's a prophetess or something like that. And she was sharing a revelation that she saw. And then afterwards, she gave her interpretation. So I'm going to quickly break down the revelation she saw, and then we'll listen to her interpretation. And then we'll come and talk about the role of misogyny in many of the prophecies and the messages we hear in church. So basically, this lady says she was in a dream and it was nighttime, and a man and his wife were sleeping. The whole family was asleep. And then suddenly the doorbell rang. So the lady woke up and went downstairs and she went to the door. But before opening the door, she looked, and supposedly the door was made of glass. So she could look out and see who was outside. And the person that was outside was a man and his little son. And these people were people that the family already knew, like family friends or something of that nature. So because she knew who they were, she opened the door and they came in. So she said when they came in, then basically the man greeted the woman very nicely. And then the man went upstairs, that neighbor, right? And when he went upstairs, he started beating the husband who was still asleep. So when the lady realized that there was no danger on the radar, she ran around, found her car keys, and ran out of the house to go and find help. So I would let us watch her breakdown, her interpretation of that, and then we'll come right back.
I got different interpretation. Number one, as a wife, you are the door, you are the pillar, you are the gate man. Because you open the door and your husband is now afflicted. The Bible says a wise woman build her home, but a foolish one tear her home apart. As a wife, if you are blind spiritually, your husband will drown physically and spiritually. Not everybody that smile with you, you must open your door for. As a wife, we are the doorkeeper, we are the gatekeeper. We must command who comes in and who goes out. There are people you know physically, but spiritually, they are different people. As a wife, don't just be judging by your physical eyes. May God give you the eye to see beyond human knowledge. The Bible says, the heart of man is deep like a well of water, but they that have understanding will draw from it. May God give you the wisdom to stand at your door so no intruder can come in. That's one interpretation. The other interpretation I have, as a wife, there are many people that want you, but they think your husband is the obstacle. There are many people that desire you, who think your husband does not value you, who think your husband does not deserve you. So as a wife, you must know, not every man that talk to you nice, that means they love you more than your husband. Not every man that treats you nice outside, that means they can treat you more than your husband. What you see out is not what you will get when you're in. As a wife, you must know these things. You are the pillar in your husband's life. You expose your husband, the enemy will prevail over your husband. That's the two I have.
Well, I don't know if you found that triggering, but if you didn't, let me tell you why I find it triggering and why we need to be questioning all those things. So first of all, she said a wife is the door, the pillar, and the gate man. And if you look at it, all these are protective roles, right? A wife is the door. A door protects the house. A wife is the pillar. The pillar upholds the house. A wife is the gate man. A gate man makes sure that a stranger will not come in, right, into the house, more like a bouncer. I thought the men were supposed to be the protectors of their families. Even Jesus himself, when they say marriage is like a description of, is a shadow of the relationship between Christ and the church. Jesus describes himself as the door, right? So nobody can come in and out anyhow. So I thought the men were supposed to be the protectors, while the women are the weaker sex. So why is it that now the woman is all of this? If the woman plays all the protective roles, what role is it that the man then has to play? Another thing she said is that a wise woman builds her home. But my point is this: Jesus himself said that if the good man of the house knew what time the thief was going to come and break into the house, then he will be awake so that he will be able to fight and make sure that the thief does not steal anything from him. So, but this man, all through the story, all he was doing is sleeping. He was sleeping in the beginning, he was sleeping in the middle, and it was only when the neighbor came in and started beating him, that was when he woke up. So what kind of sleep is it? Is it the sleep of death or what? You understand? So even if the woman has finished building the house and the man who is supposedly the protector does not step up, I don't understand. Because at the end of it all, they must always find a way to double down and say it is the fault of the woman. The role they've given the man was slacking in it, and the woman is still to blame. You see what misogyny and patriarchy is all about, even when it is in religion. So this whole picture is just saying, oh, the man is a baby. The woman should protect him as a gate, as a door, as a gatesman, as the builder of the house. When they keep saying, okay, a praying wife, everybody is supposed to pray. Do you know what? In Gethsemane, when there was danger on the radar, right? Jesus was the one praying. Maybe he's supposed to be the groom of the church, right? And the church is his bride. Even his disciples were feeling sleepy. Bible said Jesus will wake them and they'll just be feeling groggy and doze off again. Jesus was the one traveling in prayer. But they don't see that. And it was after he has finished praying, he now said, arise, let us go. He prayed for himself for strength. He prayed for the church. He prayed for Peter. Because when he said, Peter, see, devil is planning to come and sift you like wheat, but I have already prayed for you that you will prevail. That after that, you come and take care of the brethren. So you see that the husband has a role, a very serious role, if he wants to copy Jesus. But they just want, they think, oh, they just want the good side of things. They want the good life and they don't want to be involved at all. Another thing she said is that many men want you, but they think that your husband is the obstacle. So even if men outside want a woman, it is the woman's fault that the men want her, right? So if you look at it, even if this man was appealing to the woman, who will really blame her? Because it seems that all the husband is doing is he's asleep. He's oblivious of whatever is going on in his environment, as if he was bitten by a fly or something. He has a sleeping sickness. So if you are sleeping on business and the woman finds something else, are we even supposed to be blaming the woman? We should be blaming the man and saying, you need to step up. You were showing up for this woman. She fell in love with you and everything. And she thought you would continue being that person that is supportive, that is a good partner. But now everything has fallen on her. So this is your fault. But they will not blame the man. It's still the woman's fault. So should she wear a sack? Have we not seen people in different religions? They wear everything to cover themselves. The only people through the eye holes. But whatever is still going on is going on in all those environments. So what are you talking about? It's never the man's fault. It always has to be the woman's fault. So this goes to show how mental conditioning can play into how people interpret religion. Because somebody can read the Bible, but if they have been conditioned to believe certain things, it is only their belief that they're going to be reading. They will not be able to use their sound mind. Even if it makes 100% logical sense, they don't use logic. So my quick interpretation is this. First of all, a responsible man doesn't put the sole responsibility of monitoring the home and taking care of the home on his wife. He will be a good example, standing at the forefront, protecting his family, protecting his wife, right? And making sure that no intruder comes in. So secondly, a man who is just so in love with sleeping is in trouble. He doesn't love his wife. Because when you now sleep and your wife is the one carrying you, backing you like a baby that is in a cradle and they're just rocking you, you don't care about her. So that's my interpretation. Let us stop using the name of God to push misogyny. God has no part in that. Let's learn to detox ourselves from all the lies we've been fed so that when God actually talks to you, you'll be able to understand what he's saying.